This is a breaking news alert.
We begin tonight with a breaking news alert out of Huntington. Good evening, I'm Jessica Ralston in Charleston.
And I'm Bill Murray in Huntington. A chaotic scene unfolding in an apartment complex on Howell Greer Boulevard. Gunshots rang out. Several people have been hurt.
One of the units, HPD, has the gun marathon. I think we got several victims and several suspects as well.
We can tell you News Channel 3's Tim Muir is live at the scene right now, where police are trying to figure out exactly how many victims they have and how many suspects as well. Tim?
Bill, we're here along Howell Greer Boulevard, not too far from Northcott. As a matter of fact, right across the street from Northcott Court. That's where the shots rang out. Now, we have to say there are two different scenes here. One where the shooting took place, where there were a number of gunshots that rang out, and there were a number of victims. A lot of those victims came over. Not all of them. We're going to get to the other one in just a second. But a lot of those victims came across the street here to the marathon station to more or less, from what we're hearing from the people inside who worked here and from some of the witnesses and also from police, to try to get away from that gunfire. The victims were inside. Ambulances showed up quickly. Police showed up quickly. We had police. We had Huntington police who were here. We had sheriff's deputies, state police. Even a DNR agent was here, as a matter of fact. So just about every law enforcement agency in Huntington showed up here. We're going to talk to Detective John Williams right now to fill in some of those details. And Detective, what can you tell us as far as number of victims and number of shots fired? It was pretty substantial tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a number of shots fired. Right now we got approximately 5 victims that went to Cabell. 1 went to St. Mary's. We're still sorting it out. Our crime scene units in there trying to piece together what exactly happened. From what we can tell now after the shooting, the group was together in the center of the Northcott. Several of them ran over here to Marathon after it. There seems to be some evidence of the crime here also, so we're kind of securing the store for that purpose.
We're hearing about one weapon that was recovered, one magazine that was recovered. It looks like kind of one directional shooting. All the bullets came from one area, so not a Wild West kind of shootout over there.
Yeah, right now it's kind of dynamic, but from what we can tell, it's at least one shooter at this point. Other than that, we're just trying to piece together what information we can from the victims. Information from them is not very forthcoming.
Okay, and I guess it's really important to point out the shots that rang out really were kind of lower extremities. It looked like most of the victims were shot below the waist.
Yeah, that's correct. None of the wounds were life-threatening for any of the victims.
So and right now the search for a suspect, and surveillance video can be used from over there, correct?
Yeah, we're going to attempt to garner what we can from that, the information there, and hopefully they'll lead to a suspect again, in addition to what the victims can help us with.
And as far as police being out all night, forensics will be here. This is going to be an active crime scene as far as the investigation goes for quite a while, hours and hours, correct?
Yes, we have numerous officers here from different agencies, and the chief's out and about helping us with this also.
Okay. And as far as the search for a suspect, that's something that you guys, obviously, it's top priority.
Everything's unfolding, like I said, it's dynamic right at the moment. As soon as we get some more information, we'll obviously let you know.
Okay. Detective John Williams, appreciate your time. Thanks very much. This is the area where it ended up, but as we said, Northcott Court is where it all began. It was about 8:45 tonight. The scene was chaotic. We took a trip over there as soon as we arrived here. The scene was not secure, as a matter of fact. When we first showed up here at the scene, the fire department and the EMTs were told by HPD to go across the street and set up at Rite Aid because this was not a secure area. There were victims who were running around through the parking lot. We walked over to Northcott Court then. It was a chaotic scene, people running in different directions, people coming out of the apartment. There was a fear, of course, that there might be more gunfire, but looks like one gun recovered, one magazine recovered, and the search for the suspect continues.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. As Tim just mentioned with the officer right there, this is an active crime scene. It will be busy. I did speak with 911 operators just a few moments ago, however. We can tell you that Howell Greer Boulevard is open at this point, but if you're driving there, you're going to see all that activity. That's exactly what happened, so they're not looking for people to just stop by and become tourists at this point. But again, Howell Greer Boulevard, access to the northern and southern part of the city are open at this point. We do know there are victims that have been taken to both Huntington Hospital, St. Mary's Medical Center, and Cabell Huntington, which is just a few blocks away from the shooting scene.
News Channel 3's Olivia Fecto is live at the hospital tonight, where there are restrictions right now to make sure the injured and sick are getting immediate attention.
Yeah, Jessica, I'm here at the emergency room at Cabell Huntington. I was up there just a short time ago, and hospital staff asked us to move down here. Now, the ER here, I spoke to the public relations spokesperson. He tells me that the ER is not on lockdown, but they are limiting the access here to doctors and to patients who need care. He wants me to let people know that just because you need to come to the emergency room, you can still come in. Just know that if you're not a patient, you probably won't get access in right now. And there is an increased police presence just for safety reasons. Now, I'd say there were about 40 to 50 people when I was up there just a little while ago. Dispatchers tell us that there were 6 confirmed victims, and I just spoke to the man here who tells me there were 5 of them who are here at Cabell Huntington, another one over at St. Mary's. And like you heard Tim talk with the police just a few minutes ago, there were lower extremity injuries, non-life threatening, and they say here that they are in fair condition. Now, at least 3 of those victims did come here by private vehicle just down the street at the Marathon gas station, Jessica.
All right, Olivia, thanks. And of course, we will continue to update the story throughout our newscast here and on our web channel at WSAZ.com. In Mingo County tonight, charges have been filed 3 years after the death of a 1-month-old baby boy.
And the mother is the one being held responsible. News Channel 3's Andrew Colgrove talked with the mother's family and has the latest.
A mother is behind bars after deputies say she caused the death of her 1-month-old son. But her family says her real punishment is living the rest of her life knowing what she did.
She's had to live with herself, so I think that's more than enough punishment.
It's a really hard situation to go through.
According to the criminal complaint, the crime happened almost exactly 3 years ago. Mingo Sheriff's deputies say 42-year-old Jennifer Harmon from Newtown went to sleep in the same bed with her baby. The criminal complaint says Jennifer told police she had drank 6 beers the day before. It says she woke up about 4 in the morning and found her son Briar in bed with her, dead. The medical examiner released their report last month saying the cause of death was due to accidental overlay associated with bed sharing with an adult caretaker.
It is odd for it to be, taking this long to even figure anything out what happened and why they're doing anything now.
Family wondering why it took the medical examiner's office 3 years to reach this conclusion.
It's terrible that they would bring it up after 3 years.
Jennifer Harmon is charged with child abuse or neglect resulting in death. She was given a $25,000 bond and taken to the Southwestern Regional Jail, Bill.
All right, Andrew, thank you. We want to pass along that Harmon declined to be interviewed today.
According to reports from the state medical examiner's office, about 80% of child deaths under the age of 1 are caused by co-sleeping and substance abuse, something they say is completely preventable.
Sleep on the floor. Do whatever you got to do. But don't put your baby in the bed with you, because you'll roll over on them and then you won't have them anymore. It's that simple.
Now, officials want to stress these deaths are avoidable. They do have tips saying just don't sleep with your baby. Do not place the baby sleeping face down. Don't use bumper pads in the crib or multiple blankets. And most importantly, never sleep with your baby, of course, if you've been under the influence of any alcohol or drugs.
We are following another developing story out of Huntington tonight. A major announcement. A call center is coming to the city, and that means 500 jobs. This is an update to a story we broke on News Channel 3 at 6. TLK Group says they will open a 120-seat call center in the 1100 block of 3rd Avenue. They're hoping to have 150 to 200 jobs when the center opens on October 14th. And in a year's time, they hope to have 500 employees. We spoke to the managing partner on the phone about why the company chose Huntington and to Mayor Steve Williams about the impact this is going to have on many families here.
One, it has a history of a good labor market for call center employees, and 2 of our employees, our general manager and the new director we have named for Huntington, both have worked in the call center industry in Huntington.
People who will be able to have a better standing in life, people who will find a job that haven't been able to find one. There are 500 families that are going to be benefited, and just look at the ripple effect of that. And then the other businesses that will come in that will support this. This will have a multiplier effect.
Okay, now the big question everyone wants to know, how do you apply? Well, TLK says they're holding a job fair next Tuesday and Wednesday at the Hampton Inn at Kinetic Park in Huntington. You can drop in anytime between 10 in the morning and 7 at night, either of those days. Officials say they will be accepting resumes and scheduling interviews at the fair. The pay will be salary and hourly and will range from $25,000 to $100,000 a year. The company says they hope to be up and running on October 14th. In just a few hours, there will be a new sheriff in Clay County, West Virginia. The 3 finalists for the job are Jim Paxton, who is a retired deputy and former state trooper, Robert Pelt, who is a current deputy, and Garrett Samples, who is the county's home confinement officer. Former Sheriff Miles Slack resigned last week after pleading guilty to federal wiretapping charges. The commission will choose one of the finalists at its meeting tomorrow morning at 10.
Late on this Tuesday evening, the atmosphere undergoing a change from the blue sky and the crisp atmosphere, more of a dingy sky tomorrow and a higher humidity, a milder atmosphere, if you will. Your first forecast, you'll notice that manifests itself with a red sky sunrise, fog north of Charleston up 77 and 79, upper 50s to 60 for the school bell, cloudy midday 70, and the day will end with a couple of showers point south in the coal fields at 75. On HD dual Doppler radar, nothing in striking distance. Weather headlines then, rain risks south tomorrow. We'll go state to state with a pinpoint forecast. Then it's back to the blue skies and mild temperatures heading into the end of the week and weekend. I've got you covered with my latest 7-day when I come back on News Channel 3 at 11.
Emergency workers on their way to help after an accident or involved in an accident of their own. Look at that. You can see the crash caught on camera. It happened at Huntington at the intersection of 3rd Avenue and 25th Street, not far from St. Mary's Medical Center. This traffic cam video has slowed down a bit, but you can still see, boom, it was a violent collision. Witnesses say that unmistakable sound of steel on steel is absolutely sickening. But police say that's where the good news begins.
Miraculously, there's really no serious injuries right now. They've both transported to St. Mary's Hospital. I'm going to go check on them in a bit. But the ambulance drivers was beat up a little bit, and the female in the car had no serious injuries, just a few cuts from the glass.
Are you ready for this? The ambulance driver actually crawled out of the mashed-up vehicle and went right to work, helping the woman in the car. It didn't take crews long to clear that intersection, and they had the road back open within the hour. A national crime ring is hitting home in our region tonight. 2 men are under arrest after Hurricane police say they went to great lengths to steal credit card information. Officers say the men would take the information, create fake debit cards, and then use those to buy gift cards, and then use the gift cards to buy goods. Are you following me there? Very complicated. The men aren't from the area, but police say they've been here before doing the same scam, and they knew who to look for this time.
And we had information about these individuals. We shared that with some of the businesses here in Hurricane, and they called us when these people came in to try to purchase stuff, and that's how we got onto them.
It's not over just yet. Police say more people are involved, and they expect more arrests in the near future. All right, still ahead here on News Channel 3 tonight, we update the breaking news alert out of Huntington, where 6 people have been confirmed shot, by whom remains a mystery. Tonight, Tamir will be live as police try to piece it all together in about 7 minutes.
And a little pause in our beautiful autumn weather to return at the end of the week. Take a look at our Charleston, West Virginia weather cam on this Tuesday evening. A little fog in the background on the Kanawha River. Updated forecast, and I join you on News Channel 3 at 11.